Have you ever wondered who Dan Blocker disliked more than anyone during his years on Bonanza? The answer may surprise you, because the man known for his kindness, humility, and giant heart rarely had enemies. Yet behind the scenes of one of television's most beloved westerns, a feud was quietly brewing that would become one of Hollywood's most talked-about conflicts. Before he became the unforgettable Hoss Cartwright, Dan Blocker was a true American success story. Born in Texas in 1928, he grew up learning the values of hard work, family, and respect. Standing 6 feet 4 inches tall and weighing nearly 300 pounds, he looked intimidating, but those who knew him described him as one of the gentlest men they had ever met. He served as an Army sergeant during the Korean War, earned advanced degrees, worked as a teacher, and eventually found his way to Hollywood. Everything changed in 1959 when he landed the role of Hoss Cartwright on Bonanza. Viewers instantly fell in love with the big-hearted cowboy, and Dan became one of the most beloved stars on television. Off-screen, his life seemed just as admirable. He shared a devoted marriage with his wife, Dolphia, and together they raised 4 children. While many celebrities chased the spotlight, Dan preferred spending time with his family. Fame never changed him. But while audiences saw a happy television family, tensions were growing behind the cameras. The source of that tension was Pernell Roberts, the actor who played Adam Cartwright. Roberts was intelligent, talented, and outspoken. He frequently criticized the show's writing and often expressed frustration with the direction of the series. While Roberts wanted more challenging storylines, Dan believed the show's success came from its simple values and positive message. As the years passed, their differences became impossible to ignore. Dan valued teamwork and loyalty. Roberts valued artistic freedom and wasn't afraid to challenge producers, writers, or even fellow cast members. According to those close to the production, their personalities constantly clashed. Dan reportedly felt Roberts looked down on both the show and the people who worked hard to make it successful. The conflict wasn't about money or screen time. It was about fundamentally different views of life and work. When Roberts eventually left Bonanza in 1965, many on the set felt a sense of relief. Dan never publicly launched personal attacks, but he made it clear that working with Roberts had often been difficult. Despite his frustrations, however, he still respected Roberts's talent and intelligence. Sadly, Dan Blocker's story would come to a heartbreaking end. In May 1972, after what was expected to be a routine gallbladder surgery, complications led to a fatal pulmonary embolism. He was only 43 years old. The news shocked Hollywood and devastated millions of fans around the world. His co-stars were heartbroken, and Bonanza was never quite the same again. In fact, the producers chose not to recast Hoss, believing no one could ever replace Dan Blocker. More than 50 years later, his legacy endures. Fans remember not just the character he played, but the man he truly was: kind, generous, loyal, and deeply devoted to those he loved. And while his feud with Pernell Roberts remains one of television's most fascinating behind-the-scenes stories, it is Dan Blocker's warmth and humanity that continue to define his memory. In the end, the gentle giant of Bonanza left behind something far greater than fame. He left behind a legacy of kindness that still